Hi guys, John here, Mr. Forex Fire. So we're going to have a quick look on the charts to see if there's any sort of patterns brewing up. We'll set them up and then what we'll do is we'll pause the video and I'll just live record as I go through a session this morning. Okay, so I'm just going to share the screen. Took a bit of a loss yesterday, but yesterday's video was a fantastic video to go through on how we protect the equity when we're getting into trades and things like that. So it's going to be worth a watch, that one, if you haven't already seen it. It'll be the one that's above this in the playlist, because I'm starting to add these on a day-to-day basis on a playlist. So we've got the Great British Pound, Australian dollar, and X here, B, C to the D. Let's just drill further into that. Get the pitchfork on. And that's us set. So there's one pattern we've got. Okay, we're just going to get rid of the harmonics just so it doesn't look busy. And again, going on the preference, what we did the other day, we need to let this go for a couple of hours. So it is only 8:30. I might have a check back at around about 11 o'clock to see what price is done on this before we enter anything else. So I'll pause the video. I'll have a note of trying to keep these short as well there this time around. So I'll have a little scoot around. If I see another pattern, I'll jump back when I'll show you guys the setup, and then we'll just move on from there. So just bear with me and I'll be back in a second. Guys, back again. So this was a trade I was in on a separate account yesterday. You might have seen this in the Discord that I shown you. I was in some good profit. It's at the TP area, but I'm going to see if I can trade within the levels that we've got. So I'm just going to show you a technique as well. This is on the Euro JPY. Now, what you can do is you can go on the horizontal rear, okay, and then click on the pencil with the lock, and where you get the funnel areas, see this, you can put in levels. Okay, we'll do that, we'll do that, we'll do that. We'll go down to 15 minutes. Just do that, we'll get rid of that, get rid of the pencil. You'll see not only have you got the pitchforks going up, but now you've also got these levels where it's come up, it's bounced. You see where it's bounced along, it's gone up. It's a very, very good technique. Again, we'll go on the whole suite. We can see on the 15 minutes, it's telling us to buy. There's been a magic push up. 5 minutes, a big push. So what we could do, we could go for a buy. Oh, 0.25. Click on the buy, and then what we can do is just head towards that profit there. Have the stop loss just here. Let's take a look. We'll get rid of the one that I had off the other day on another account, and we'll just see if we can get it to the next level, to be fair. Scroll in. So basically, as a rundown, what I've done, okay, we've gone from the points, the pivot points of each of the Fibonacci areas, okay. Just going to try something out here today, because obviously we've come up, we've bounced, we've jumped up, consolidate, come up, bounce, snake along, come up. We're now at the moment coming through this area, so we might have a bit of a bounce back here. and see if we can push up to a take profit area. And we'll see what happens. As we go towards this, depending on how good the strong of the push is, I might extend the take profit up to the next area, bring the stop loss to just above the break even in case there's the reverse. But at the moment, we're in a little bit of drawdown, but that's not too bad. We're going to live with that. But we are on a strong buy here. We might get some form of pullback into this area. There may be a pullback, so that's right into the stop loss if we look closer. A little bit of consolidated here. So we might start seeing a bit of a pullback, to be honest. We'll keep it live. Go down to a 2 minute. What's a 2 minute doing? It's a continuation at the moment, stalling out a little bit. Go back to 5. In fact, we'll go down to 1 minute, see what the 1 minute's doing. We'll go back up to 5. So I'm going to pause the video. We'll be back in a moment. We'll see how this one's doing. Again, we're going to not only try and work it from the fan of the pitchfork, also got levels built into this, going from the pivotal points from each of the diagonal funnels, you know. So we'll see if we can push up into to see if we can get into any profits. Just a quick, nice, easy profit onto the next level on the push up will be nice. Give us a little bit of equity to work with for the day. What I'll do is the Euro JPY, I'll make that into a purple because we're going to be working in with a purple list today. We're going to get rid of that card. We're going to get rid of the Euro USD. So we're working between the Euro JPY and I've got a setup at the moment, just waiting to play a bit before we get into this as well. So two funnels to work with today. And we'll see how we'll go. We'll pause the video. We'll be back in a moment. So guys, we are in some drawdown now. We are on the level. We've come down. I was basing the entry on the strength meter as well, which we have in our Discord. The Euro was strong. The JPY is weak. So I was expecting the push. It looks like it's already made its push from that aspect, to be honest. So it looks like we are going to hit the SL. I'm not too worried about it, to be fair. It was just something I was trying to incorporate with something else that we do within the group. It just shows you can't just have one thing for Confluence, to be honest. Let's take a look. Let's delve a little bit deeper. Yeah, we're crushing through that level now. It's going to come and meet us here. And obviously there was no choice but on what we were talking about yesterday about the stacking into the profits and the equity sort of thing. It's we risked a 0.2, I think it is today. It's going to go again, so it's going to take a bit of a chunk off the system, to be honest. But hopefully it'll not come down to that stop loss because we're keeping it within the next level down, to be honest. Right, just something I'm looking at. Let's have a look at the GBP order. See, we're getting right. So we're starting to get some movement now on this. there's the first buy signal. Go back the hour. Go from the D to there. Okay. This is the fire harmonics where that's a line of interest. Go down to 15 minutes. Bring it down from 15 minutes to here. And that's another level there. Get rid of the fib. And again, horizontal rear pivot point, horizontal rear pivot point. Get on the Heikin-Ashi. See if we can get in early on this. I know we were learning from yesterday. I'll go to a buy. I'll do a conservative 0.10 on this one, would have been an earlier trade. So only risking 0.13, as you can see, okay? So we're in on a buy there. The stop loss is going to be just below the D. Take profit at the moment. We're at there. Our first level. And then we've got another level. Got it here. Next level up at the top is here. So if that take profit was up to this level, we should have run about £20 return. We'll keep it to the first level for now. Some heavy drawdown now, to be honest. This might pull back a bit. We'll see. We might get a bit of a pull back up towards the area. Again, it's not about being. This is not about being perfect. It's about trying to find a level of consistency. And again, I should have checked this. Look, bang on there. That's the 50% area. Look what it's on. Oh, here we go. We've bounced above the 50% area, actually, so that's good. That's good. So we've come up. You see what I mean by 50% area of a pattern? It's come up, it's bounced, bounce, 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 and then it's took off. And then it's took off. So we are above that 50% area now. So as it's bounced above the 50% area, the next line of attack could quite easily be the higher echelon of the medium line, to be fair. I just hope on the initial drive from when we got the currency strength here, okay, when we've got the currency strength here of the Euro GPY, the GPY being weak, Euro being strong, we can see the guys in the group have actually got this on their system as well, that when we're getting into this, there is going to be a drive. There is going to be a drive, which you can see from here. It's done that. This might just be a mere pullback. And that mere pullback that it's trying to do is simply going to come back into that pivotal point of the medium line, horizontal line. And what that means is it's come along and it's bouncing, it's starting to test and bounce off that. So hopefully we can hold the structure of the stop loss here, because as you can see, there was buying power trying to push through. And then we had a couple of doji candles on the sell. So it's a pretty prominent line for the stop loss as well. We just need this to turn a bit to try and give us a bit of profit. We'll see what happens. We go back onto the purple list. And again, we're getting in on this one early as well. See if we can get that push. I'll pause the video. We'll be back in a moment. At this stage, I'm not worried. Like I said, this is a test. I'm forward testing stuff for the group, just so it's giving you an idea on how you should be approaching these things with the method. What I want to try going into the next week or two is definitely the fire harmonic side of things rather than the pitchfork. Because I've already tried, tested and traded the fire harmonic way with the 25 line. Pitchforks are good, but again, certain things on them can be subjective as well. So you need, I think it's anything with any sort of strategy, to be honest. All strategies will work. It's just how you put the plan of action into using that strategy and sticking to the plan. And at this stage, we're just trying to iron out a few things on the system. This looks like it might start pushing up now. Well, pause the video. We'll be back in a moment and see if I can draw any sort of the pros and cons out of what we're doing to deal with this. So stay tuned and I'll be back in a moment. I love doing these videos when we're first testing things out, because again, it just shows that I'm not perfect. I'm also human, and that's what this is about. There's a lot of things out there where they just constantly show you wins. Excuse me. Just as a little update, we can see we've had a push down from this level. Okay, so we've got some good sort of things with this. If we go from a pivotal point like that, okay, we can see it's not always about the diagonal pitchfork way. We can see that these levels are respected and hit pretty much so. So that's something we could continue to use, to be fair. Again, this is now starting to come down to push. I think we're getting into this a little bit early. I've done this simply because I'd done it the other day and it went against us. I want to see if it happens again. Then we certainly know we do need to get a few buy and sell signals from the first D point going forward. This will just confirm that for us. With regards to the Euro JPY, this has been a pullback, and look where the pullback went to. It's pulled back onto the level quite nicely now. It's starting to give a bit of a push. Unfortunately, will the strength stay with us? It already is around about 17 pips in drawdown. So I suppose we could we could possibly get into another position and try and get around about 10 pips or so out of this. See if we can push, like work. You know, when I was saying the other day, it's not always, we're always I'll put all the eggs in one basket and then taking a lot size of 0.5. You can anticipate there's going to be a pullback and then drop it down to a 0.25 on an entry, have a 0.25 on a deeper drawdown. The only thing is with that is I've already opened up a second position as well, or on another pair. You know, I've got a 0.25, I've got a 0.10. Suppose if we go, let's take a look. We'll go 0.10, okay, because we've got a 0.25 already, 0.10. Click on that. It's not going to let me. 0.21. There we are. Right, so the stop loss just run over the same area. Take profit. Now, for some reason, this has opened it up from where it's opened it up on there. It hasn't opened it from here. Have you noticed that? Wow. Right. So that's something I need to look at as well. And if that's the case, because now, let's take a look, Euro GPY. We're now starting to get the push. We're getting the push, guys. We're getting the push. I'll just get my coffee. It seems that we got on these on the pullbacks, which it's not a bad thing. It works out to be good, to be fair, because you're anticipating the move. But again, it's telling us on the 5 minute it's wanting to sell, but the buyers are coming back in now. We'll go on the 15 minute. Well, look, it's come up, it's rejected beautifully off that level there. We're coming back into play a bit now as well. Let's have a look. There we go. We've got that big minus on that as well, to be honest. Right. Go back down to 5 minutes. GBP odd. We'll pause the video. We'll be back in a short while. We've got 3 positions. This is the one that we need to concentrate on. We need that to come back. What I don't understand is when I went to enter the position, see where the price is? I went for a buy. It's took the buy from that and it's instantly put me into the drawdown. Whereas the buy, it is, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'll have to watch the video back, to be fair. But that it definitely should have entered us in here, not on the top of here. But hey, we'll have to work with what we've got. We'll see what happens. We'll see if any of this pulls back. We'll be back in a short while and see what happens with it. We took a bit of a hit earlier on the other pair, the Euro GPY, as you can see, drawdown now. It seems if the harmonic and the trading for me has gone a little bit crazy. I've got a profit one here. Watch, see this? It's not letting me trade. It's not letting me move. I've got a trade stuck. And I don't know why that is. See, it's there. It's ended. If I try to move, it's stuck in the system. TP, trying to move the TP. Watch, when I drop this here, it should ask me to modify, but it won't. It's acting as if it's not there. Watch, it disappears. So at the moment, I'm stuck. I don't know whether there's something wrong with the server on TradingView. If you watch on the bottom of here, every now and again, it flashes in. Let's have a look. It'll flash in, watch. There we are there again. So let's just see if I can modify this in. I don't know why it's doing it. Strange. It appears and then disappears. And again, it's not letting me lock that. It's not letting us adjust it on here. Watch, even if I do that, modify. It's there, done it now. Very strange. TP. There we are. I don't know whether that's been a factor on how I lost one of the other ones before, but we'll move on. Just one of them things. We're ironing out the kinks. Let's take a look. We'll move that TP to a bit higher. We've got some clawing back to do now. As you can see, the GBP, no, it wasn't, it was the Euro GBP. We took a bit of a hit. And is this disappearing again? Very strange, Euro GBP. I'm getting in on a sell on this side now. To try, it was like a reverse position. There was a thing on here where, so there you can protect position. I've tried that. We'll see what comes of that. Got a feeling that this here take profit of that swing. Bring it to 50%. That's 0.25. Bring it to around about there. Get rid of that. Now we're in a few quid a drawdown. See if we can. This today is going to be about. Stop a share. This today is going to be about trying to protect the account, try and bring back what we lost. I'd like to see a little bit of gremlin in the machine there this morning. Although the GBP or the Euro GPY that I set, there was no issues on the scanner at the time when I set that. But the one that I did on the GBP odd, it wouldn't let me set anything. I don't think it's affected anything on the trading that I've done myself today, but it's just something I need to be wary of at this moment in time. Just go back to share the screen. A little bit of drawdown on here, the Euro GPY again. There's drawdown on that at the moment. GBP odd. We'll just wait for the push out on this, to be fair. Yeah, we're on a buy. Again, we've tried to get in on this signal early. We've done that yesterday. It went against us. Sometimes you have to take that little bit more of a risk. So we are trying to do it again. Sometimes it's not advisable to do that, but we can see from the hull, there's a good push away from the hull line, and it is on a buy. Okay. We'll just beyond my abilities. We'll just see what comes from it. We'll see what comes from it. Bit of a strange session today, to be fair. But at this stage, it looks like we're just trying to chase to claw back what we lost. And sometimes you've got to dig deep and do that, to be fair. Sometimes it's good to have these losers like this because it just tests what you are as a trader, what you see, and how you get in on trades. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the video and we'll be back a little later on. And maybe the next, what, half an hour to an hour. I'll see you in a bit. Hi guys, so we're back again. We've now opened all of our positions, what I would normally go to. I normally look at around 0.5 based upon a lot size on, let's say, the 10K. We did go in some drawdown, unfortunately, this morning. So now we've got all of our lot sizes played out. You can see here the 2, and then the 0.1. That's given us the 4, the 5. And then I've had to open up another one of a 0.3. We're starting to pull back based upon the buy situation. We've got, like I say, 3 positions open where we've come down into deeper sort of territory for discount. From there, the Euro JPY, which is the one has let me down today. I worked that one. I try to use the current, like I say, I try to use the currency strength at this time in the morning to get in on the trade. However, it went against me. So what I've done on that, I've actually clicked. Sorry, I've clicked on the thing to reverse the trade around to try and get some money back. So I'm hoping this pushes back down. We'll see what happens. I've never used the reverse position before. It's all new to me. We'll see if it sort of protects us to get us some gains back. So we're around about 55 quid down now. So this is about trying to stem the initial bleed of what's happened on the account this morning. I'm glad these things happen, to be fair, because again, this is just, it's going to show you what I do when I test, forward test, and how we sort of protect the accounts. Again, we're not using massive amounts. If I'm honest with you, again, 50 odd quid off a 10k account, it's nothing really. But again, what I spoke about yesterday was on a 10k account based upon FTMO, your maximum daily drawdown, and that would be £500. So again, we just need to be conservative on what we do and how we trade. Just let you fight on for another day, you know. Hopefully we'll come back on to taking some profits, but the currency strength that I was going off this morning at 20, was it 20 to 9 or something? The euro was really strong. That's what caused this initial push up, you know. It was around about just after this bit here, there was a spike on the euro against the JPY. I think we missed the initial drive, to be honest, and then it started to fall back down. It's coming back down to retest this area that I sort of marked out, and it's bounced off that, you know. So what I'm hoping for now is that it's going to break through this, bounce off here, and then come down to this level. The reason I've got that level is it's a highly respected level going across here. Okay, so hopefully it's going to be a quick in and out. We have got some profits on the GBP odd, so that's Euro JPY at the minute. The GBP odd, we've got 3 positions, 2 are in good profit, 1's in slight drawdown. Our take profit areas are further up the top, and we've got 1 on the higher pivotal point cross here. Okay, so even if we get this trade here, if the Euro JPY is staying in drawdown and it doesn't sort of cancel us out, even if we can get some profits coming off this, moving on to that, and it brings us back towards a break even, decision will be made to possibly sort of kill the trades, because then we've just brought the account back. There's no need to try and be greedy at this stage at the moment, because we've started coming into the drawdown of the initial account. We are not looking to get into big profits, if that makes sense. We need to try and get back into stemming what we're losing through the blood and the life of the account, and just try and plug those holes and get small profits here and there. So again, that's the update of where we are at the moment. It's 10:30 at the moment. There's nothing really much happening and coming through on the Forex Harmonic alert scanner. That being said, I don't want to get into any other positions. I just want to see what happens going on forward with what we've got here. Too many positions open at the moment. And again, obviously, with what's going on in Russia and things like that can affect the news at any given time. So hopefully we'll get a turning point on the 4 trades we've got open here. I'll be back in a short while. All right, so a quick update. I've been managing the trades on this. We did take a hit this morning. Unfortunately, again, if you watch here, I'm getting another issue with the server at the moment. I've got one in profit. I can't move its stop loss or its take profit. It seems to be a running issue at the moment. However, I'm not letting it play havoc with what I'm doing at the moment. Okay, you can see we're in heavily. We're starting to come in some good profits. It's all about trying to get this account back towards the 10k initial start point. And at the moment, this here, I've taken positions on the way up from the GBP odd. We got in early on the buy here. Okay, these 2 areas here, I brought into conjunction with the harmonic, the Forex Harmonic system, which is something else I'm going to be going over over next week or so. So I brought in not only the pitchfork element, but I've also incorporated the breaker structure, the retest on the 25, and then the push, and that's working really well on this trade, to be fair. We've got, if I push this to here, a possible of 40 odd pounds, which would certainly take us up towards being back to break even. But we're in conjunction with these two, we might even hit some profits today. The one that's been the sad one was this morning. We took a hit, but again, it's good to be able to take these hits to then be able to factor in how we are going to react to the trades. Okay, what's letting me down at the moment is the Euro JPY. Again, I went on what we call our currency strength meter this morning. We had a euro was 7.4, the JPY was 0.3. It looked as if it already had done its initial push, which was from this bottom bit, and I got sort of caught halfway in the trap, I do believe. There's been no further updates on the currency strength in here, to be honest. So I think I got into that a little bit too late, if that's the word to use, and it already had made its move, because by the time I got in, obviously it hit the stop loss from where I had, where we had the pullback. Okay, so I hit the reverse position on here to see if I can get in and sort of protect it. It let me do that, which was here, but for some strange reason I'm stuck in it. I'm stuck in a position here where it's not letting me sort of it's not letting me it's not letting me activate the trade. So as much as this is starting to stem the bleeding that we're getting on the account, on the demo account, this, I don't know what it's doing. Like I say, it's not letting me modify anything. It doesn't give me the chance. I'll try one more time. So it just, the trade's there, but for some reason it's not letting me trade it. Let's just see if I can get this back on. This happened to me just before. It's a pain in the backside, I'll tell you that. Let's have a look. Whoop, we'll go back. I need a cut. I think the way I got around this last time, I need to catch that take profit. If I can get it to accept it and modify, hopefully I can then edit it again. Let's just see if we can get it. Fail to modify stop loss. I don't know why that is. This could prove costly because I've got no way of cancelling the trade out. We'll keep it going. Again, we're starting to get some pullbacks in the GBP odd. I'm going to try and manage this the best I can, to be fair, and then hopefully we can get the profits based upon this one here. So I'll keep you updated. It's now 11:30. I'm going to go make a bite to eat, and then we'll come back and see where we are with this in good time. Okay, guys, so I'll see you in a bit. I might move these take profits a little higher from what they are, and yeah, we'll just take it from there. See if we can save this account. See if we can save it. Hi guys, so we're back at it. Been a strange day. Most of the trades that I've been putting into place, or at least two of them at least, has not been sort of activating properly on the thing, so I wasn't able to put a stop loss or a take profit area. So it started eating into the equity, and we went into not so much heavy drawdown, but we did go into drawdown. We have now started a turning point, bringing some of the profits back. We've got some good profits coming into here. Again, I might bring, let's see where we are here. There's a £40 there, and another one there down to 60. Might take that down this area just because of this here. Let's take a look. So that's nearly 50 quid of profit. I mean, this here, it's took a hit today. It's annoyed me because it was no fault, or I wouldn't say, it wasn't so much my fault. It was we went into a little bit of drawdown. It went the wrong way, which was fair enough. But then the other trades that I started to factor in, it wasn't letting me do like a stop loss and take profit. I was activating a trade and it was stuck. So I couldn't factor in. And one of those, it sort of went a little bit too far. Couldn't close it out. And it dropped down as much as this. And then when I got in to be able to modify it, it closed it out. So now I'm sort of chasing myself. Well, not so much chasing. I'm trying to recuperate the money back. Like I say, this session today has been about trying to pack the wound where it's been bleeding. We are bringing it back to the 10K or towards the 10K. Once we get towards that, I might close it all out. Just trading view and the trading the day just has not. It's not so much. I've been choosing the wrong sort of the trades. It's this has played up with regards to setting trades. It hasn't set them as a stop entry and take profit, you know. So let's have a look. We might close this out early. I don't know. We might start closing while it's on this GP, or let's see what's happening on this. We'll keep it going a little bit longer. See if we can get some of this profit back up. Even if we take a 50 pound sort of hit and like get it back to 9,950, I think I'll be happy with that. Gives us a fighting chance to go a bit further on. But today, haven't been happy with it at all. It just hasn't been activated and put the trades when I put it on. I think what I need to do when I'm doing these trades, to be honest, is when I put in my entry, normally I'm just going straight up to the one-click trade. That's where it's been slipping up. When I put a one-click trade, it puts the trade in, but then it ghosts, it disappears, and then it comes back on the screen, it ghosts, disappears, and then it rejects it when I try to move the stop loss or take profit from the entry. See where it's got reverse? It would have SL and take profit here. And it's taken me around about an hour and a bit just to be able to get to modify certain trades. We are building a pot back up, to be fair. Let's have a look. That's 40, a bit further. So it's 60 on here. Let's take a look. We'll close this position. That's brought us back to 920. Okay. We've got the equity of 920. It's just about stemming the floor now. We've now got 3 trades here at the moment, which will look. Starting to go against us again. Been a hard day, put it that way. It's been a hard day. And again, we're forward testing all this sort of stuff. Let's have a look. Anyone done anything? Yeah, there's nothing else coming on that currency strength. That's where it returned for me this morning. To be fair, I got in a little bit too early. I should say not early, it was late. I came to the party late thinking I was able to get a few pips, but I tried to coincide where I was on the harmonic to where the currency strength was. And it obviously just didn't work. That was the first slipping point. And again, we need to identify where we go wrong. You never enter the next trade until you identify where you've been going wrong in your trading. Okay, so I might wait and see if this sort of goes up a little bit more. Let's have a look. Get on 21, that would be 940. Let's say 40, 30. So that would take the 970. Can we go here? Right, I'm going to try and factor in some things here. Right, so that would take us to, we'll see a 12, so that's 32. So 32 to 40, 43. I'll try and take some minimal profits off here. We need this to turn. If this turns and heads back up, then we might not only sort of save profit, save what we've done with the account with them few mistakes a day, but it might also give us a little bit of profit as well. It's been a hard slog, but these purple zones were all based upon structure points from the 25, where we break out, come in and retest. However, you can see we've come down to double bottom on, is it the 1 hour D point? Let's have a look. Yeah, and you can see on here, more or less come to double bottom on there, you know. So it's coming to retest right the way down the bottom. That's why I had my stop losses just below here, to be fair, you know. So cushioned it just below where the outer field is, and it was good to do that. We'll go more into that in other videos when we get in the Discord, that is. But I am anticipating this to move back up to 5 minutes. It had a sell point from just above the 25. It did push down. I mean, there could be factoring in from news from what's happening with Russia and things like that, you know. I don't know. We're just going to say we'll hold fire, see if we can get this. Hopefully this won't turn on us. It might be a determining factor on that. It does take us lower on the account, but we brought it back up to 920. We were a couple of hundred down. And again, it was all, and like I say, I'm upfront and honest, it was all based upon trying to take a trade from the currency strength that we do and factor it in with the harmonics, and I got in too late. In all honesty, I'll put my hands up to that. And from that, we had 2 trades where we ended, where I hit the 1-click trade. Now, I don't know whether that was a glitch or whether it was just something with the server. It let me place the trade, but it wouldn't let me put the stop loss or take profit. So from here on in, I'm going to need to do what I was doing in the past, where I go to take a trade, but I need to make sure I have the take profit and stop loss ended, so that I can manually, so that I can manually adjust it. It just didn't let me do it on the 1-click trade. So I don't know whether that's a glitch on the system with this up here. So for my advice for you guys is this up here, don't use as a 1-click trade system. Set your trades, okay? Set your trades and then have your take profit and SL. Even if you don't put it spot on first of all, when you put that in, I've never had any issue with it. You can then adjust it afterwards. You know what I mean? So yeah, just protect what you've got. It's the best way. It's the best way. I'll pause the video. We'll come back in a short while and we'll see where we are at the end of the day. We have been down. We're starting to slowly bring it back, but it's good that you can see what I'm doing with this, and we are protecting what we've got to the best of my trading ability, at least. Hopefully the consistency and being able to keep a level head is going to prevail with us, and it's gonna bring us back to where we need to be. It's all part of the learning process, as this year. We'll see you in a bit. I'll tell you what, it's been a hard slog today, guys. Let's take a look. The GPP odd is now going into some profits. See this a little bit further up if I can. We're about 30 quid off getting back into our 10K. Feel like I say we went about a couple of £100 down, to be fair, but due to a couple of things, and like I said, I'll go over that. Okay, one of them was simply because I made the mistake with getting in a bit early again. Here we go. I'm going to start closing these out very shortly. As soon as it goes to the 10K button, One of them was I was using the currency strength and trying to factor that in with today's trading. Unfortunately, I got in when the currency strength was peaking out, if that was to make sense. Let's see, we'll get back to our 10K button mark. Just give me, there we are. Profit. Right, so we've closed our positions out today. From yesterday, we were only about £1 or so in profit. Today, we've still ended in profit, but we were a couple of hundred down. Just going to go onto the stop share a minute. Let's take a look. Put me on big screen. So yeah, today we were looking at, I forget which pair it was early on. Might have been Euro JPY. I was looking for a combination of things, but we use a method called the currency strength, okay? And the euro was really strong, the JPY was weak. So I went in for a buy. Now, when I went into that, I went in with 2 feet first. Once I was looking at where it was at and I had the levels set, there was nothing wrong with the levels I had set. However, it was starting to peak at its highest. There must have been a turning point, or there may be some news that came out. From there, what had happened, it started reversing on itself. So then I had to sort of try to get back in on the trade and protect and edge the trading as such, with entries and take profits. Was going really well. And then I went, the next part that happened wasn't my fault. I went to take a trade. Normally when I go to set a trade, I'll put a take profit and stop loss straight away. I just hit the one-click trade and ended the trade on the sell on the reverse. It activated that, but it wouldn't let me sort of drag and drop the SL and the TP. So we ended up in a bigger hole. Just bear with me. The alert's going off. So we ended up in a bigger hole because that wasn't working for us. Eventually I started, all manner of alarms going off. Eventually we started pulling that back, and then we got in the GBP odd, and then I did the same thing again, hit the one-click trade and tried to activate to get in on a trade, and it glitched like it did this morning. That started going against us again. Eventually I had to sort of edge my trading and what I was looking at TP wise, but eventually what had happened was we have ended the day in profit from what we were yesterday, albeit being £1 or £2. But again, starting with 0, we ended with 1 sort of thing. We ended up in profit, couple of quid profit. Happy that we've pulled it back. Just got to be a little bit more vigilant. I think we're using this one-click trading thing. Hasn't helped this morning trying to factor in something else rather than just concentrate on the harmonic with the signals that I get from obviously this here, okay? When we drill it down to the 5 minute, again, it's going on to a buy position from where I marked off as well. Marked this off this morning. Look, coincidental. It marked us off here on the 25 where you pull out and you get the pullback, or get marked off the buy here. And now the pivot point, it's marked the buy again. So that's given me confidence going into tomorrow and here on in that these breakouts and reversal back to the 25 areas are very strong. And again, as we pull out, you've got a 75 area here. You've got a next pivotal point on the whole strategy, telling us there was a sell on there. Protected lows. Okay, we got a double bottom. Again, the field in itself, this outer realm, this is where the D point pitchfork goes from, but we have an outer realm. Okay, and I'll talk about more on that in future videos on where we are protecting ourselves with that. But today, looking back on everything, we made it harder work than what it should have been. I didn't spend all my time at the chart. I was in and out of the room, but I just set my parameters. At one stage, there was where I couldn't physically sort of put any more trades just due to my trading plan and the technique I want to do. I don't want to put too many lot sizes in there. I use my stop loss area, okay? I use my stop loss area to factor in other trades. So if we do come into drawdown, we can sort of edge in further profits, if that makes sense. On the basis that if it goes the full length and comes out below that lower end and where the stop loss is, once you factor in every staged sort of entry, you've then only still just lost what you would have been putting in on the full lot size, if that makes sense. So today, got our pants pulled down and smacked right across the right arse cheek. But the thing is, we ended up in profit, but we made a lot of hard work out of it. Two factors where I went wrong, because again, we need to look back where we go wrong, why we went wrong, and then we can move forward. So the two things where we went wrong, one, we could have controlled. We took our eyes off the ball and we were looking at another sort of area where we could be trading. Okay, so that was my fault. I hold my hands up to it. It just shows you that obviously I'm not perfect. We're all human. And the second one is out of my control. It was totally out of my control, and it happened twice. I should have known for the first time round. I used a one-click trading on the Pepperstone on TradingView. It let me trade, but it would not let me set my stop loss or take profit. Panicking when that first happened, because I hate to trade without a stop loss, because then I'm not in control of what I'm doing then. So we went into some drawdown, nearly $200 on that 10K account. But if we factor in, if we look back from yesterday's session, if we talk about like an FTMO challenge, your daily drawdown FTMO challenge on a 10K is $500, okay? So we barely touched into just on a quarter of that, to be fair, you know? I should say half of that. So yeah, a bit of a harsh lesson, but we controlled everything. I think looking from outside the box in the bigger picture, if we had been trading with too much of a lot size trying to chase the money, then what's happened during that session just now could have hurt us. Okay, so that's a positive. That's a positive to take out of this, because we were in control of the lot sizes being used, even though when we got to the second error where it was the one-click trading thing, where we couldn't control what was happening there, because we had a contained amount of lot size being used, it helped us big time. It really did help us. If we had too big of a lot size, it could have been more detrimental to the account. So I want to treat this 10K account like as if it was an FTMO, where we've got a 500 drawdown daily limit. Okay, so if I go into 500 limit drawdown altogether, then we would just say we've lost that account. Okay, and it's the way you should be doing this forward testing and moving forward. So that was a positive coming out of today. We've identified where we went wrong. We've identified the positive from today, because we controlled the lot size. The negative is we just need to be more vigilant, because taking the eyes off the prize and trying to factor in, because there is lots of different things that we do inside the Discord as well, whether it's the harmonics, whether it's scalping, whether it's sort of smart money, whether it's currency strength. I was trying to factor in one too many variables in it, and I looked at the currency strength today, and obviously it sort of bit me on the backside. So again, I'm not here to be perfect. I'm here to show you what can happen. I'm here to show you the pitfalls, and most importantly, I'm here as on this here, the resource that we have in here. It's not a high-end ticket area, so it's a free resource. You can come in and trade with other people. It just, I like to put myself out there to show you what can happen and what will happen in the real life of Forex. Okay, I'm not here to show you screenshots of trades and winning pips and whatever. I'll put myself in front of the camera. Now, years ago, I used to hate being in front of the camera, but now, because people can relate to what I'm doing, because that's where others want to get to, they want to get a level of consistency. They have, or the audience that I've sort of produced over the last few years, it's just a honesty, integrity, and value, and I uphold those all the time. And sometimes I do get slated with things saying I only do this and I only do that, but I just want to show people what can be done, what can happen to you, and how do we get ourselves out of the hole. And today we've done that. Okay, so not a massive session, but again, we're not going for the big moves, we're not going for the big pips. We're here to trade the account as if we were going through a stage of getting funded. You need to protect that account by using proper lot sizes, and by doing that, you're protecting not just your equity, but you're protecting the balance. So if anything should happen, like what's happened today, you've got a contingency plan to be able to trade your way out of it. Okay, so I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I think I'm going to rewatch this video through because it's going to be a learning process for me as well. So I'm certainly going to watch the video through again. I'm going to take notes, and I'm going to document and journal what's happened today. And yeah, it's ended. I'm still happy with the outcome, simply because I was starting to lose it a bit. Okay, I was starting to lose it a bit, and I was getting a little bit annoyed with myself. But that's when I just took myself away from the screen, made a cup of coffee, had a bite to eat, and then just thought to myself, it is what it is. Got them levels set. Let's see if they hold. If it holds those structures, we come back and then we see where we are later on in the day towards the New York session. Because if there was going to be a turnaround, that's when it was going to be. It was going to come around all that, and it worked out fine. It was actually cracking on to exactly the New York Open where we had the turnaround. So again, thank you everybody that watches. I'm not, like I say, overall, I'm not here to be perfect. I'm just here to show you how I do things, and how I can do things wrong, but at the same time using my ability to be able to trade my way back out of those difficult times. And we've done that today. Okay, guys. So I'll see you on the next one.